welcome to Chai Time Sports, everybody. The cricket match is delayed, but hopefully you guys are joining us here live for India-Pakistan T20 Cricket World Cup.
Good morning.
One of the biggest matches. Sorry, we got HD and Jesse.
This is Jesse. Nice to have all you guys on here. We are waiting and waiting and waiting. There is a delay. The pitch is wet, and as we know, Pakistan won the toss. They're going to choose to field. And
welcome to our channel, everybody, though. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in, joining us live. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be here talking about the Cricket World Cup, Pakistan versus India. We also got Roland Garros tennis coming on. This is Chai Time Sports. Please subscribe and like and share this with your friends if you have people that are wanting to watch cricket and listen to some commentary in English. There's not much out there on YouTube. Everyone's talking about Hindi Punjabi. But yes, let's let HD get into. So there is a delay. It's raining. What can we talk about there?
So when it's rainy, pitch is not offering much bounce. So they're going to try to utilize that swing. The bowlers, the bowlers, a lot of pressure on both teams. But this is great bowling wicket now because it's overcast. They're going to try to exploit a lot of the swing in that and try to get them out, try to get India out for a total that will be easy to chase. That's the game plan. So let's see. But got to keep on fighting. You got to keep on fighting. As we know, these teams have a huge rivalry, and this is the big one. This is the big one.
Yeah, the Super Bowl, they call it, the Super Bowl of cricket. Let's take a look at the lineups here. We got the captain, Rohit Sharma. We got Virat Kohli, probably the most famous cricketer in the world.
King Kohli.
King Kohli. We saw them all around on Twitter. You can see those guys. They were all around New York, and it's like a big celebrity fan fest. You know, there's so many South Asian, Indians, and Pakistanis all around New York City, and this match being held at the Nassau International Cricket Stadium out there. Big deal. It's been being hyped up. First time such a big international cricket tournament happening on U.S. soil. It's never happened like this before. Cricket taking off in the U.S.
Yeah, this format is the way to go, and the U.S. definitely wants to promote this.
Yeah, do you think if the first time that the U.S. fans were seeing cricket, it was a test World Cup, do you think they would have had the same enthusiasm and attention span to be able to follow?
I think that's no, Bob. Test match is a 5-day ordeal, very patient-oriented game, and in this day and era we're living in, we just need it quick.
It helps that, just to recap a little bit about this World Cup, since we still are on a rain delay there at Nassau, the USA beat Pakistan. Huge upset.
Huge.
It was all over the internet. It was on ESPN. It was on the Good Morning Today show. I think Michael Strahan, Good Morning America. But just a huge upset for a semi-pro, amateur-filled.
It kind of worked out really well in a weird way for the USA to promote the sport in USA. You know, they beat a powerhouse, and the score of 185 was not sufficient to get Pakistan that win. And you've got part-time cricket players from the USA being able to meet this team that has been playing cricket for many years. So that has created a big buzz. It's not the outcome that Pakistan wanted, but it has definitely helped USA to get the sport promoted in the country. So back to the pitch condition. It's still raining. There's a delay here.
Pakistan won the toss. They chose to bowl first, huh? They want to get their bowlers out there, and they want to see what they got.
Yeah, you're gonna utilize that swing. Virat Kohli, he's the main man. You know, he's the LeBron James. If you can hold him to a low score right there, that's gonna put a lot of pressure on the Indian middle order. So
they didn't. The Pakistan bowlers not coming off of a great ending there, losing that super over to the U.S. The U.S. put up a huge amount of runs in that super over. I think they ended up with 2 wide balls or 3, and then they ended up putting up almost 17 runs during that super over.
You gotta be disciplined.
The last time those guys were on the wicket, it was not a great showing for them.
No, and so there's a lot of pressure on both these teams, but more pressure so much on Pakistan, because they need this victory. They need this victory. They have come their history right now, a lot of losses to India, so they are the wounded animal. If you're down 2 games in this format, very hard to move into the next stage. But let's see. But this is great for USA to be involved in this format.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the French Open final. At least we got some live sports going on. The men's final going on right now. Alcaraz versus Zverev. First time we're going to have a new winner in a long time. We saw Djokovic go out with an injury. No Nadal this time around.
It's good for the sport. It's really, really good. You've got the young up-and-comers on the sport. You know, Alcaraz.
Switch over to the score here. What do we got going on?
It's a good one. It's a good one. There's adjustments being made. Alcaraz won his first Open at 19 years old, which is a phenomenal feat. However, he's not the youngest to have won that. Can you guess who could it be? Who was the youngest to ever win the U.S. Open?
The youngest to ever win the U.S. Open?
Ever win the U.S. Open.
That I'm not sure. Yeah, go.
Michael Chang from the
USA.
Yes,
How old was
sir. And he was 17 years old, and he won the French Open at 17 when he beat Ivan Lendl, the Czechoslovakian legend, and so that was a huge upset. So yeah, in Alcaraz, I feel like he has just broken Zverev, and this game is getting competitive. It's a beautiful game. It's one set apiece, and Alcaraz is just Alcaraz is up 2 games to 1. So we've got a good one going on, a really, really good one. Bumrah. Let's talk about Bumrah a little bit. He's the ace for the Indian cricket bowlers. You know, he's able to get good pace, swing from a very, very short lineup, and so I'm looking excited. I'm excited to see how he's going to fare in these conditions.
Yeah. So far, let's see. They're still they're going over the starting lineup. We got Babar Azam. He's been all over the news lately. Been seeing a lot of him. A lot about Shaheen Afridi. We see quite a bit about him. He's a popular one for Pakistan too. A lot of these guys are getting so much notoriety. They have all these T20 leagues now around the world. The IPL, that season just finished. Indian Premier League, another great season there. One of I think the third most watched or most revenue streaming sports in the world after EPL and NFL. Now these guys are becoming household names. They're making money. They're getting paid more than ever before. I think this is one of the highest paid tournaments that they've ever had.
2.45 mil for the winners.
Yeah.
And also the runners-up are receiving a very nice chunk of change, around 1.3 mil, and the semi-finalists are at 850K. So these are huge money revenues now that are being generated from the sport, and also they're pumping it up. They really want that U.S. market. Very similar to the way the NFL is trying to get
the global market. Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And they got Major League Cricket. We can see some fans. Yeah, it looks like about 17-minute countdown now to the first ball over there in Nassau. Major League Cricket it's going to be starting its second season here coming up. So the U.S. is really trying to capitalize on this South Asian diaspora, and so many people from the African countries, the British Commonwealth countries, Australians. The West Indies, Caribbean, a lot of cricket fans all over the world. Let's take a
Covers are off. Game is going to be starting at 11:20 local. Sachin Tendulkar is in
attendance.
Making an appearance. Sachin Tendulkar, as we know, legend. He is one of the original legends for India, and there's a lot of cricket superstars, old superstars that are in appearance here. So this is great for the sport.
Speaking of Indian legends, Sunil Chhetri, Indian soccer legend, Indian football legend, just retired from international play at least. He might still be playing for Bengaluru FC. I'm not sure for this club team, but he did play his last match. You know, he almost made it to Queen's Park Rangers, EFL Championship, second division, British side. There was a problem. Visa. There was a problem with the immigration with the visa. On a segue real quick, Brighton's new manager, the youngest ever EPL coach, did not have a problem with his visa.
No,
Sunil Chhetri did have a problem with his visa. He was not able to make it to Queen's Park Rangers. The U.S. did not give him the same grief. He was able to play one season with the Kansas City MLS squad. So shout out to Sunil Chhetri and the Bengaluru FC. But yes, Indian legend Sachin Tendulkar. Cricket, obviously the much more popular sport. around India than soccer. But on that note, the AFC, the Asian Federation World Cup qualifying matches are going on. The last I checked, India had a 0-0 draw in one of their group stage matches with Kuwait.
Do you think this is the time that we
no,
can?
This is not the
no,
year.
This is not the
this
year
is not
for
the
India.
World Cup coming up.
No.
This upcoming one is not.
But
the
you know, let's if we're talking about football, soccer, what do you think
Yeah.
about the Euros? The
Euros coming up. Germany's are hosting it. The Germans have been, since they won the last World Cup out there, their last World Cup in 2016. It's been, it's been
up and down.
Yeah, it really has. It's been up and down against Argentina. It's been up and down for them. Remember those 14? I'm sorry. And it's been up and down since then. They've gone through multiple managers. Nagelsmann is back.
They don't have the right mix. They're not cooking.
No.
But I'll tell you, who might be cooking? England.
Like we talked about yesterday on our pilot episode, it sounds like Gareth Southgate probably on the hottest hot seat.
Hottest of hot seats.
I would imagine.
You know, some missions were done over the last few days. The big name, Jack Grealish. Other names, Marcus Rashford, and some of my Liverpool boys, Curtis Jones, Kwanzaa. You know, I think the emissions are fair. Harry Maguire, suffering from that injury. It's been plaguing him, nagging him. So I think it's fair, and I think what the lineup is solid, but just gotta gel. It's all about gelling.
Absolutely. Let's take a look and see what's going on the pitch. About 13 minutes away. Tonight's starting 11.
It's really, really key that India start solid. You really want to get a feel of that wicket. It's going to be turning. It's going to be swinging. T20 is a different format. You want to make sure you really understand which balls to go for and which balls
they
to
don't
leave.
put the same squads up for their test teams necessarily, right? These international
no,
cricket
they don't.
teams.
That's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of this format. You've got now specialists.
Yeah.
Certain people are just better, and it's better for the other players just to take a break for their body.
In the tennis over there, at least we got ourselves a match. So, Alcaraz won the first set going away 6-3, but Zverev came back strong, won the second set 6-2. So they're each up. They each got a set apiece there in Roland Garros on the hard red courts. It's been a long time since we've seen
the young blood.
Yeah, how many Roland Garroses did Federer win? I think
Federer. Sorry, they're just the legends. They're the legends. Federer, Nadal. You put in Djokovic. I mean, these guys are legends. So it's really refreshing to see some new players, new faces, and Alcaraz seems like he's taking charge of this game. He seems like it's one set apiece, and Alcaraz just won this game. So it's 3-2, I believe, and we're in for a good one. So yeah. Can't wait for also this upcoming India game. This is a big game, very, very important that India maintains that form. They beat Ireland, and now if they win this, it's a stepping stone to get into the advanced groups. But we had some upsets. Let's talk about those.
We will. Let me just check I'm just checking the update here for the India Pakistan. It looks like they're going to have a 1 hour extra time for the rain delay.
Wow.
Or they're asking actually, is it for a full match or is it different for the World Cups? Because there is otherwise a time limit on these T20 matches. I believe it's 2 hours or 2.5 hours.
Yes.
They have a time limit that these matches can only last for that long. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of people asking. This is absolutely pouring now, and the start has been delayed.
Go figure.
Coming out for an inspection. Now they're saying 11:20 local time, which is about 11 minutes from now. So it looks like that's what they're on the slate to do.
It's all about having that health. You cannot have your players out there. These are well-conditioned athletes who, the last.
Are they well-conditioned athletes?
Oh,
that's another. Cricket might be by far the least conditioned athletes.
It's the way you see it, Bob. Half the glass, we can do it
half
empty or half full.
Not on the same level. I think. No. I don't think anybody was recognizing the Indian cricket team walking around the streets of New York. They probably thought they were their local IT team. Speaking of, it was the IT guys that won it for the USA, right? The
amazing.
Star player plays for Oracle. Part-time cricketer.
Amazing.
And,
See, dreams do come true.
He beats these full-time
Pakistan.
celebrities. Yeah, they're like one of the largest cricket countries in the world since the inception of the ICC.
It's the little engine that could.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
now this little engine could turn into a huge monster. Especially in this country where the opportunity is endless.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm truly excited. But the covers are off. Is this? Are we gonna get an epic match from this? Let's see. That's
I think
the
so.
thing
We've
about
had some
weather.
great matches at this World Cup. We've had a couple super overs already at this Cricket World Cup. Now, we had some low scores on the wicket the first few matches, but either way, they were close matches and they were all competitive. And the U.S. has put up some good scores. Australia put up a good score against England. England, unfortunately, has not had a great showing. They might not make it out of the group stage. The top 8 advance out of these group stages, the Super 8. England, it is not looking like they're.
It's not good for them.
No,
it's not good. But Australia, they really are the gold standard, in my opinion, of the cricketing world at this time. I mean, they're just continued excellence. You've got the legends: David Warner, Mitchell Starc, Pat Cumming, Mitchell March. They're just etc. And they're leading the charge in the whole. I mean, right now they are number 1 in tests, number 2 in ODIs and T20. So if they were to win this tournament, they're the trifecta.
Absolutely.
They're the undisputed number 1.
Absolutely.
This is what the teams are waiting for.
They're showing the trophy on this.
Yeah, they're showing the trophy. Yeah, we're still in the group stages. I've never seen them have. I didn't see them paraded out for Oman and Scotland today, right? $6 tickets for that match, $300 for this.
I wonder where the Gore are in this game. This is
And the two umpires making the way out to the center with the match referee David Gould, Richard Illingworth taking the ball there.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're live.
Be the umpires in the middle. And the crowd has been patient. Weather is clear, no rain, you see some blue skies, which is a good sign. The two captains now making.
Yeah, they're coming out for their. Bringing out the kids. Every sport, they love to do this now.
It's on. It's on.
Here
Let's
we
go.
Here we go. Match starting. Match day. Here we come. A lot of build-up for this one. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype.
Hoping. We want a good game. We want a good competitive game. These blowout games, they're not good for anybody, especially the losing team.
No. There we can get a little view of the walking out there.
It's a full stadium.
Oh yes, sold
Sellout,
out.
right?
So the Nassau, this international cricket stadium, they have these great suites. They got these corner suites. They really did a good job. They had a little behind-the-scenes tour for the big wigs, for the hotshot Indian Pakistani.
That's it. It's a beautiful ground.
Absolutely.
The U.S. has done a great job to get these pitches ready. National anthems.
Oh, the national anthems for India and Pakistan.
In tennis, Alcaraz, 3-2, one set apiece. Looking to break. It's 30 love.
Oh yeah, great one going on over there at the French Open. It'd be great to see Zverev pull an upset. Well, I guess Zverev's.
They're
Would that
both,
really
they're
be
both
considered
close.
yeah,
Oh,
would
what
that
a
be-
classic right there. That's
Oh.
classic Alcaraz. Classic drop shot and a volley.
I'm curious to see what the line would be there on the.
Yeah, why don't we talk about a little bit about that betting? What's
check.
the over under on this?
Let's pull up the lines. NBA Finals, by the way, tonight also. Let's see. Oh, they got this one even tonight. Even tonight on the money line, -110, -110. Vegas has this going either way.
And Luka, how many over under on what Luka?
Yeah,
How many is he gonna drop today?
let's take a look. Player milestones. Luka Doncic. Let's see where an over/under is. Milestone player. 31.5. They got him at the over/under at 31.5 for Luka. I would bet the over on that. He put up 30 last time. I think he knows.
I think
this
he's
is a
ready to
must-win
go.
game.
He's watching film,
Yeah,
watching tape.
That's right on there. They got Jason Tatum. I'd maybe take the under on Jason Tatum.
You would?
I would. I'd take.
Tell me a little bit about that logic.
I just feel like the last game it was Porzingis and Brown and everyone else that showed up. I don't think that he's going to need to show up big.
He's
going to
come out ready.
And I'll take the under. I don't think he's going to need to show up big this time.
You don't think he's going to? Oh, so he's going to take it easy, is what you're saying.
I think always take the under on Tatum. Let's take a look here.
What about
T20
Irving?
World Cup.
Kyrie Irving. Back to excuse me. What do you think about Kyrie Irving? Is he going to come out?
They were. They just made it a game plan to double team him every time he had the ball and stop him, and it worked. Last time he couldn't do anything against him, and but they were not able to stop. They didn't try to stop Luka. They let him score 30 points, so they weren't worried about it.
Yep.
India, Pakistan. Let's take a look here. I was trying to see what we could figure out about the line on the betting line of India, Pakistan here.
I'm curious about Bumrah taking. How many wickets is Bumrah scheduled for? What is Bet365 saying about Bumrah? Yeah, I want to know how involved they are. And it's all about taking advantage of your opportunity,
Absolutely. Let's take a look. Top
bowler. So I don't think
we'll get there in a minute.
All right.
I'll take a look.
So back to the game. Alcaraz did win that game. He has a break, and he's looking to wrap this third set. If he gets his third set, he'll be serving. He'll be that'll be the last. He'll be serving for the match. I mean, the last set. So this is a very big game right now.
Great one going on right there in Roland Garros. We're waiting for the match to start here. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us live here, we're going to be talking about India-Pakistan cricket today. We're going to be talking about other sports as well. We got a lot to cover. We're waiting for this match to start. Still a rain delay, but it looks like they're getting ready now. They did the national anthems. They paraded out the kids. Sold out stadium, Nassau International Cricket Stadium. Cricket being played in the U.S. on a major competition like this for the first time ever. This international T20 World Cup happening every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
They had it in India 2 years ago.
And this is the big one. This is the batters coming out. Let's see how they want to play it. I think the first couple of times they're going to be a little conservative because you got to get a feel of the wicket. But let's see. Oh, Virat Kohli is opening the lineup.
Coming out first. Let's take a look. The fans are loving it. We've had some low-scoring affairs in the first few matches of this World Cup to start, but we've had some great ones like we talked about. We had a couple super overs. Of course, the biggest one of the biggest news so far of the tournament, the USA beating Pakistan. Huge upset. But there's been a few other ones. We had Bangladesh, Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka also has a very, very rich history. We've got New Zealand. New Zealand were bowled out for 75.
That was, I think, one of the biggest or one of the lowest scores put out at a World Cup.
Wow. Afghanistan's
been doing fantastic.
They're coming out
their
with
story in international cricket, they have been coming up. They've now in ODIs and T20s in major competitions, they've beaten Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and some major nations there.
That's a team I would be very, very careful on playing. If you're not ready, they're going to bring it.
These one-day T20 matches, it is not like Test cricket. It's anybody's game. It's just like in an NBA game. Anybody can get hot shooting. Now, with the three,
momentum.
Any game, exactly. That's why there's
all
such big swings.
Momentum.
Yeah, it's a different sport. It's not Test cricket. This World Cup this year being hosted by the West Indies and the U.S. They're playing all the matches in Dallas, Grand Prairie. That's where the USA beat Pakistan.
Go Texas.
That's the kind of home for Major League Cricket. Big South Asian population out there. The other matches are being held in Florida. They're doing some in New York. And then the rest of them are in the West Indies, Barbados. That was the site for Australia's defeat of England. England was putting up a good little fight there for a while, but then their run rate went down.
I think the Australian cricketers just really, the bowling was a little suspect for England's on England's spin side, and they just took advantage. I mean, these batsmen on the Australian, they just took them to town. Yeah, I mean this is it. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. The game's about to start.
Yeah, they're finally about to start. Over there in the French Open, just to recap, Alcaraz up 6-3 on the first set. Zverev came back and won the second one, 6-2. And then Alcaraz up 4-2 right now. And they're battling it out there in Roland Garros, as we can see here live on the screen. Let's check in what's going on today with the cricket now as we get back live to the wicket there. Man, we're up. Who's up first to bat?
Just a quick factoid. The first game that was promoted in New York was in 1989 in New York.
For cricket?
In cricket. So
Pakistan, New York?
Pakistan, India. So there are 15,000 people in attendance, and they've been doing this. But let's go.
Let's take a look. Here we go. First ball coming up here for Pakistan. Afridi. Afridi's going to be taking the
left arm swing pace. Oh, nice. All right, we're off the mark. So as we can see, the pitch is very, very slow, so boundaries might be a little bit challenging to come by. The ball just covered with rain, damp, so it's not gonna go easy to the boundary. So you have to pick and choose your shots.
There we go. We got no run on that second ball there coming up. We can see we'll pull the live blog up here as we go, and that way people can kind of see what's going on. We'll go ahead and put this, we'll leave this screen up as we talk about it. We got a lot of other things to talk about today while we're here on Chai Time Sports. Thank you for everyone joining us today. Share this with your friends, like and subscribe to the channel. We got the French Open final going on right now, battling it out, Alcaraz versus Zverev. We're already at 5 hours.
It's a classic right now.
Yeah, this has been going on for a while here
this
already.
Game right now, this one is the big one, because if Alcaraz holds serve, that's a 5-2 lead. If he does not, we're looking at another possible tiebreaker. So this is the big one.
Yeah, the game might be decided here. Let's take a look and see what happens. Either way, we'll have a new winner for the first time in a long time there, and
that's great.
See, Alcaraz trying to climb up the rankings. He's trying to see if he can
whoa, big one.
Oh.
That's a 6.
All right,
wow,
we got a 6 from Rohit Sharma.
So he's
captain.
trying to emphasize and force his dominance early on, trying to shake up those bowlers. Wow.
Already 8 runs in the first over already.
Wow,
We're only halfway through for India.
They're
coming out strong.
Aggressive.
The last time we saw these Pakistan bowlers, they were not having such a great out.
It wasn't good. So they're trying to shake their confidence, trying to rattle them early. I think that's the great game plan to have. I mean, you just got to go for it, and that was a huge 6. So, when we talk about cricket, we have to also talk about the other stuff with the other teams as well. Let's just talk about quickly the fact that we had that great game with the Netherlands and South Africa. And South Africa's nemesis, or their team that just gives them trouble, is the Netherlands, and that was a great game. They were bowled out for 106, and they were able to defend that total.
Yeah, South Africa, great sporting nation, right?
Great sporting,
South Africa,
very rich history.
Just won the Rugby World Cup not too long ago. They've been huge in cricket. They made a great showing. Netherlands has been coming up. You don't see too many of these kind of Western European teams that weren't Commonwealth nations being big in cricket. So Netherlands kind of one of those rare ones.
Yes. I mean, rich tradition from South African bowlers. You had the pacemaker from a legend, Alan Donald, who could get the ball around 140, 145, 150. I mean, everybody from South Africa is familiar that they do have that rich tradition.
Which country, though, would you consider is really kind of our, the
nemesis?
Yeah, well, if you were, who would you hold in high regards as kind of the gold standard for cricket of all?
Australia. I mean, they have got that tradition. They're fast bowlers.
The last Test World Cup, which was just held in India,
it was Australia won that. I mean, I think
they've won the most Test World Cups.
They have won the most. Yeah. They are the number 1 side, and if they win this T20, I mean, they're undisputed.
It's kind of like winning a treble in an EPL.
Well, it's just similar to USIC. It's similar to USIC, but
LFC trying to win a treble.
Whoa! Big shout! Yeah, big treble. LFC.
you know.
They tried to
whoa,
win it. I guess,
whoa, is
yeah.
that out? Oh, they're gonna review this.
They're gonna review
it's
it.
Close.
They are
It's
gonna review it.
close. I think that might be missing off stump, but
8
you
runs
never
so
know.
far for India to
As you
start.
can see, the ball is swinging, so they've decided, you know, they don't have much confidence in the review. So
Yeah, huge appeal from the bowlers, but Babar reckons that there is a faint inside edge.
So back to
no review. If there
no,
wasn't one, probably just plumb in front. Frida Sharma there. So already off to a nice dramatic start here in Nassau International Coliseum.
That's what we thought was going to happen.
We can continue to talk about the rest of this Cricket World Cup and what else you think was, you know, who do you think is the favorite still? Is it still Australia's to lose?
I wanted to go back to what you said about the treble and, you know, a little shout out to Liverpool, you know. So
we were talking if Australia could win this
If for sure,
T20
maybe
World
the-
Cup, having won
Right,
the
three of
Test
them.
World Cup, then maybe they could kind of win what would be the equivalent of like a treble in
the
EPL,
treble,
not
you
winning
know,
every trophy.
EPL, you know,
Liverpool had it in their
Liverpool had
grasps.
it. They had it in the grasp. They
had
were actually up for the quadruple, which was uncharted history in January when they won the Carabao Cup. It was an amazing. It was a great season, but I felt like we left things on the table, you know, and. We could have gone for the FA Cup. That was back to cricket. Back to cricket. I think right now.
You can tell that he does not like to talk about
I
Liverpool.
do not. That was hurt. That hurt because we wanted to send up Jurgen Klopp with I think the rain is back on. Rain has come, if I'm not mistaken. They're putting back the covers. They're putting back. This is not good. This
Slight
slows
drizzle
down
starts again.
everything.
The
This
players are
is
heading
just-
off once more.
Oh,
Solid
this
start from
is-
India, but this start-stop nature
it
not
is-
going to help the batters. Yeah,
You know,
actually
you
led by
can beat
rain
your
again.
opponent, but you cannot beat Mother Nature.
No, you can't.
cannot.
We
So
do have a
let's-
good one going on in the French Open, though. Alcaraz won that last
Oh,
point,
so he's
we're at
sorry
5-2.
for the set.
Yeah, so
This is a big one.
yeah, if he takes a 2-1 lead here,
Shout
2-1
out
lead.
to Kirkland Brand. Shout out to Costco. We love you. You know. I have a France shirt on. You didn't notice how I was sporting my French Parisians. You
Oh
know?
yes, what is that shirt from?
That is from last year when we were in beautiful Paris, a beautiful country, and had a great time. Rugby, I was lucky to be there when the Rugby World Cup was going on. Amazing experience.
South
amazing
Africa
experience.
won that Rugby World Cup, Rugby Union World Cup. Speaking of Rugby Union, we had a final yesterday in the Gallagher UK Premiership, which is the UK's top flight, so top division for Rugby Union. There's 2 major competitions for rugby in the UK. We got the Betfred Super League, which is rugby league's top competition in the UK. And then we got the UK's Gallagher Premiership, which is the rugby union competition.
So is that similar to the Premier League, like League One? Is that how it is? Can you like?
Yeah, just like every other sport, just like there's going to be a top division and they're going to have lower divisions. But there's 2 forms of rugby union and league, and they each have a top division. It'd be
What's
like
the
if there was
difference
2
between the league and the union?
in
Is
rug-
that just more
15,
schematics?
15 man versus 13 man.
Wow.
5 points in a try in union, 4 points in a try versus
Wow.
league. In league, that's the one that probably you'll find more popular amongst Americans. The National Rugby League in Australia. Actually, they've been playing in Vegas. They're on Fox Sports nowadays. The reason is there's 5 downs basically, and so
Got
after
it.
5 downs, you have to
Got
get
it.
the ball back up. So it keeps a little bit more back and forth. Rugby union's a little bit of a different pace of game.
Got it.
Yesterday, the final was at the Twickenham Stoop, which is the home of rugby for England. Bath Rugby
And Bath was
versus
playing
the
Northampton, correct?
Northampton Saints. It was a
And-
great match. Bath ended up playing most of the match down 1 man. They ended up losing a man on a red card, but they were still up by 3 late in the match. Ended up losing. Northampton Saints had a great season actually, though. Not only did they end up winning the Premiership, but in the Investec Champions Cup, which is like the Champions League for rugby.
So
rugby
the
version.
score with 1 man down was very competitive.
It was
25-21.
Rugby's one of those matches where you can kind of still stay pretty close. The Northampton Saints in Investec Champions Cup, which is like the Champions League for rugby, they made the semifinal in that. That was won by Toulouse, though, the famous French rugby team. They beat Leinster, the Irish side, in the Investec Champions Cup. So a lot of rugby going on actually right now still. We're getting into the thick of things. We finished up a few seasons in Union. However, the league is still going on strong. National Rugby League in Australia. They just recently had their first of 3 matches for what they call the Origins competition. It's a yearly rugby league competition, probably one of the most fierce and kind of competitive ones that they have in Australia.
Gotcha.
They pit North versus South, so depending on what part of Australia you were born in,
you will
either
just
you're a northerner or a southerner.
Wow.
And,
so you
it's
don't
a big
get to
deal.
choose.
It's a big
you
deal.
do not
Yeah,
get to choose.
it's a big deal. No matter where you live now or which club you play for now, they put you on that team.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. They just had that first match. So there's a lot of rugby going on around the world. We'll be touching on all these sports as we come up with our daily updates, as we can post these videos weekly.
They reached the finals by beating the Sharks, I believe, 31-23 last weekend.
Sale
correct?
Sharks. Yeah, Sale had a good season. You know, the rugby league, or the leagues for rugby union and rugby league in the UK have gone through a lot of changes over the last couple of decades. A lot of clubs haven't made it. A lot of clubs have kind of had to fold. So they're kind of really trying to make a resurgence with this new league. And they had an exciting season this season. It was a good one. We'll see what comes up next. We also have Major League Rugby starting in the U.S. now as well.
Wow. We're trying to develop it here as well.
Exactly. And so it's becoming more, so cricket,
global sport,
rugby, all of these international sports are becoming more and more popular here in the U.S. That's why we want to talk about them here in Chai Time Sports. That's what we're here to talk about, as opposed to only focusing on NBA and NFL and baseball. We want to focus on these other sports. So people that want to come out here and talk about cricket and rugby and soccer, let us know. Like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Let them know that we're here.
And give your feedback. Give your comments. They're very, very valuable to us. This is a very general and light format. We've got no skin in the game. We've got no agendas. We just want to have a good time, and we want to make it very, very accessible to just talk about some light topics. Back to the Euros real quick. Or back to just soccer. Wow, it's really pouring out there.
Yeah,
that's the legends. That's Wasim Akram on the left, Sunil Gavaskar in the middle. Wasim Akram was a left arm, fast pace bowler, amazing bowler. I mean, his action very similar to Bumrah's. Short running lineup and just coming at you with just
some of these bowlers, you see them take such a long run up, and sometimes it's almost a little, I wonder if it's just overkill, right?
Counterintuitive.
You're almost tired by the time you get to the end there.
It's really amazing because now it's all about health and fitness, and you want to keep that by when you're bowling, you're putting a lot of stress on your lower back, so you just have to
such a sudden
absolutely.
Ball all of a sudden,
you're just bending a lot, and so in these formats now, T20, 1 day tests, and also the IPL, you gotta maintain your health, But it's a big rain delay out in New York.
Yeah.
Big rain delay. But
let's use this to take a look around the leagues. We got F1 going on today in Montreal, right? We got the Canadian Grand Prix. What's going on there? We got 2 hours left for that race. So that race will start in about 2.5 hours up in Canada. I wonder if it's going to rain there. I think they had some rain up there. You figure it's not far from New York.
The Mercedes guys, they are setting identical times out there. George Russell and Mad Max. And funny thing about Max is his dad also was an F1 racer. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
And you know how he got into racing? Not only because of his dad, but he loved to do go-kart racing. And he was doing that at age 4. That's amazing. But
it seems like Verstappen wins every time anyway.
He is.
Whoever has the fastest car tends to win Formula 1. Right?
That's a Madden. That's a Madden, y'all. That's a Madden right there. I
love watching the sport, and I love watching all the nice, good-looking people and the yachts in Monaco and all that. But at the end of the day, I feel like
it's the fastest car.
Yeah, you don't have to know much about it to know that.
So that comes to the question: is the car doing the work, or is the driver doing the work?
Yeah, they are athletes, though. I think we sit here talking about it, but I think it'd be harder than we think to drive those cars. So I think we consider them athletes, but I feel like the fastest car tends to win.
What do you think about that comparison between Lewis Hamilton and Max? What do you think? Even though Max is coming up, I think Lewis Hamilton has won more in his career, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd have to deflect you on the car racing expertise.
7 world titles, 103 race wins, and 104 poles versus 3 world championships, 49 wins, and 30 poles. However, we got to keep that age. There is an age discrepancy. Hamilton's getting close to 30, and Max is still at around 24, 25. So but it's great to have young blood kind of replace the legends at
Every
some
sport,
point. Wow,
every
that's
sport
a
needs
great,
it.
great backhand.
Speaking of young bloods replacing legends, we're going to get a new winner in the French Open for the first time in a long time, kind of a breaking of tradition and get some of the old blood out there. Speaking of young blood, we got Carlos Alcaraz. You and him fly the same airlines, you and Alcaraz, isn't that
Well,
right?
that's very kind of you. I fly Southwest, and Alcaraz, his private jet was not.
Sometimes you want to get away.
Sometimes he wants to get
Shout
away.
out Southwest.
He bags fly for free, you know. So Alcaraz was, on the plane that I was on. I don't know how that happened, but it makes for a great story. And he was in C-55, and he was slowing down the flight.
Not even boarding group A.
No sir, no
Oh,
sir.
man.
And so, I am rooting for Alcaraz. He passes me by. I was in my aisle seat saying, let's fly. And I said, you're Carlos Alcaraz. And he looks at me and says, no sé, which is, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
so,
in Spanish. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for the translation there.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, I that's why I root for this guy. He's a young guy and just seems very, very genuine and honest. And he won the U.S. Open at 19, and sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. But cricket, it is pouring out there. Rain stopped. I'm not sure.
8 runs in the first over. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to finish this match.
Oh,
They're going to have to postpone this. Such a big build-up. Imagine, I think it was up to $1,200 for a parking spot.
Oh, my
Minimum
goodness.
of $300 for the cheapest seat to get into the house.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure people paid thousands of dollars, planned their weekends around New York for this whole thing. They probably made a trip. People from all over the country, I'm sure, made trips out to New York for this.
Well, they
for this
could
match.
forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Yesterday was the females, the ladies.
Swatek, let's talk about that. The
She's
Italians are holding strong.
unstoppable, though. She beat Jasmine Paolini 6-2, 6-1. Very convincing.
She's won 4 now.
She has won 4. This was her 6th straight set win in 7 matches at the tournament. She's unstoppable, She really took it to the 22-year-old, and Swiatek is 23 years old. But while she's on that historic run, she became the first woman to win any Grand Slam 3 years in a row since Serena.
That's a big deal.
Shout out to Serena. What
Yeah,
a
like we
legend.
talked about, you got to take over in the sport, and so now after Serena and Venus, it looks like we got some, some new young blood in the woman.
New lions and lionesses here.
Speaking of, Coco Gauff, one of them, and so it looks like Gauff and Siniakova, they won their doubles match today.
Yeah.
So although Gauff wasn't able to do anything, or wasn't able to win a trophy in the singles, at least she got herself something in the doubles there.
She just
not
lacks,
coming back empty-handed.
She just got frazzled in that game against Swiatek. She had a little outburst to the umpire, and I think that really frazzled her. But yeah, she is the next. She's also an up and coming superstar at this format.
Absolutely, Coco Gauff. So, Roland Garros has been a great tournament. They have not had a bunch of rain delays out there like they are having in this India-Pakistan match. Not sure what they're going to end up doing here, and we can see if we can check anything in the match center, the commentary, if there's any updates. But it looks like there's going to be a longer delay here. It says, by our calculations, we'll start losing overs at about 12:04 p.m. Eastern time, which is still 20 plus minutes from now, 26 minutes from now at least.
That puts a lot of pressure.
Looks like the drizzle has reduced significantly, though I'm not sure whether it's stopped. The crowd is getting to listen to some bangers. They're playing a lot of Hindi and Bollywood songs, it sounds like, as they speak. Per the radar imagery, the National Weather Service, it looks like it's a fairly heavy shower, but there's not a lot behind it. So it sounds like it's going to pass, and we're going to be able to see. Because Kohli has not been up yet. We've gotten 8 runs in this first one here, all by Sharma. So, Rohit Sharma.
He's the captain.
He's the captain.
Leading.
A lot of people were a little disappointed in his showing in India's Test World Cup, right? And so he took some criticism.
He
took some
did,
heat.
and rightfully so.
Yeah.
He did not deliver. As a captain, Virat Kohli was the captain, and he gave the mantle to Rohit, and I think they're coming back.
Actually,
no, not yet. So in the test matches, it was not a very high-scoring Rohit Sharma performance. We had other stalwarts like Shubman Gill. Amazing player.
Yeah.
Amazing player.
I didn't see him on today's starting lineup for India.
No. And he really showed his skills. He got the opportunity, and India really beat England in India. And I know you're a fan of the army.
The Barmy Army. Yes, I
think you are
am.
an honorary member.
Yeah, the Barmy Army. I was just surprised to see all those British people just being able to be out in India for that long and eating the food and not getting sick and not getting an upset stomach. And we're Indian, and I'm scared to go to India, to be quite honest with you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay.
But Rohit Sharma took a ton of heat. India should have won on their home soil. They did not. Australia, as we said, did win that Test World Cup. And Australia is likely the favorite to win this T20 Cricket World Cup as well.
They are.
If they can be the best side. You know, what's going to happen to ODIs? You think the ODIs are going to go away? Because do you need an ODI if you got the Test and you got the T20? What's the point of the ODI?
I think it's just going to get obsolete at this point.
There's no point.
The purists are going to only the purists are going to hold on to it. I mean, initially it was 50 overs. Now it's cut down to, I believe, 40 overs, and there's only a matter of time when they're going to get rid of that, and it's going to be a test versus.
It's either test at 220 or leave it alone. They do have the 100, which is about 16.6 overs, 100 balls, but that tournament's fun. It happens every summer in the UK. Right now in the UK, we got Vitality Blast T20 cricket going on, and county cricket. So basically, if you're not on the English national cricket team and but you're a high quality cricketer, you're playing Test cricket in the traditional form in county cricket, which is fantastic, by the way. To watch Lancashire and Sussex and Essex and these counties, I absolutely like it. It's great cricket. It's cricket probably at its purest form, right? It must be going back. It's probably as pure as you can get. But the county Test cricket's fantastic. That is going on live, and then T20 Vitality Blast. So they have all these leagues now and all these opportunities. There's so much cricket to consume for people now.
I want to talk about. I gave a shout out to Shubman Gill. I wanted to talk about Yashavi Jaiswal. Jaiswal's story is pretty amazing. He was actually one of the stars of the recent Test match that India beat England in India. This guy, if you know anything about his story, he basically was sleeping at the grounds. He wanted to get training. I mean, he really, really hustled, and he showed that he really wanted it more. He broke into the scene around 2023, and he put up really good numbers. Now, it is very hard to beat India in India. The Indian cricketers have. I think are coming back. I think, or is it still rained?
Yeah, live visuals from New York. Let's see. They're coming out to inspect the pitch. They're not holding their umbrellas up.
That's a good thing.
The pitch inspectors have their umbrellas closed, so that's a good sign if they had their umbrellas up. So if you're the batter or you're the bowler, who does this rain delay benefit more, or neither?
I think both people are affected because bowlers want to be loose, you want to be limber, just like in anything right now.
If you pull a hamstring,
your hammies, you don't want to sit down. You want to be stretching right now. The moment you sit down, things are gonna cramp up on you. You're gonna get stiff. So it's hard to say. It is hard to say.
I would say it probably affects both negatively.
Absolutely, and it affects the fans as well. Can you imagine?
How many samosa can you sit there and eat? Because speaking of, they did mention at the Nassau International Coliseum, and actually at all these, I think, venues for the T20 Cricket World Cup being hosted between the USA and the West Indies, that they're going to be serving food at each of the venues, which is
that's so unique.
Serving food at each of the venues. Well, that's not unique. They're going to be serving food at each of the venues.
The cricket venues.
They're going to be serving the food that's related to each country.
Yes, that's absolutely.
So I'm assuming that they're going to be having some samosas, pakoras, and things like that. So in the
sponsored
rain out there
in
New York, sponsored by Haldiram. So live visuals from New York on the screen there. They're out there. The wicket is still covered. They're talking. They don't have their umbrellas over.
Look at the score. Alcaraz score 6-5. Zverev has taken the lead. Wow. He's serving for the set. How about that? A couple of minutes ago, we were talking about Alcaraz trying to get this set, and now
he was up 5-2 just a few minutes ago.
This is a good one. This is a good one.
Germany versus Spain. Speaking of Germany versus Spain, the Euros are going to be starting up here in about, I think it was June 11th.
June 11th, Scotland and the host Germany. And Scotland have not had a great couple of weeks of soccer coming into the tournament. You know, I mean, they have always underperformed. So it's one of those. Do you want it more? If
The
they want
Scottish
it more-
sides never do well in international competition. Also, sorry, in like club competition, European competitions.
No.
The Rangers, the Celtic, as good as they are in the Scottish Premiership, always 1 and 2. They never, you never see them in the Europa or the Champions League.
No, they're just happy to make the tournament.
I love how the UK and England, when it's the when it's in their benefit, if it's the Olympics, then they're the United Kingdom and they'll take the Scots and the Welsh and they'll put them in their teams with them. But if it's for football or something where they want, then they'll be independently. We're England, you're Scotland, and you're Wales.
Yeah,
So they
that's just
determine-
that's how the English roll.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much what it is.
Zverev is up 30 love
Wow.
as we go into this right now.
Is this is he losing his
Yeah, but tennis more
composure?
than any other sport, you can come back. You can come back, you can swing. It's so often you'll see Djokovic down 2 sets to somebody, and then all of a sudden before you know it, he's come up and he's won the match. So
There's only 2 people you're fighting against, you and the opponent.
Yeah,
and it's all about being mentally strong.
at the end of the day, whoever scores more points wins.
Pretty much. That's how it goes. And
yeah, they're lifting the tarp off the
wow,
wicket.
wow.
All
And
right.
we've got a great rally going
Back.
on here. A great rally. We're at about 8 to 10 shots here.
Between Zverev and Alcaraz.
This is a big one.
Yeah, great match going on.
Wow,
Roland Garros
that's a
there.
great game.
Oh, wow.
A great game.
Alcaraz able
Wow.
to stay alive here. Able to stay alive.
That quote on the court, victory belongs to the most tenacious. That's what it says. I think that's a Nadal. They have that showing. That's
Sitting up at the French Open, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
that really epitomizes what it's all about.
Yeah.
To the most tenacious. You gotta keep on fighting.
So as we're still in a rain delay in New York, waiting for this India-Pakistan match to resume, we do have a heck of a match going on in France right now at the Roland Garros and the nice hard red courts there. We got Zverev up 6-5 right now. They're battling it out, Alcaraz and him.
This is the game right here. This is what.
Yeah, this
is gonna,
third
this
and
is
pivotal set, right? When you're up 1-1, it's
he's
the rubber
out,
set.
he's out.
And here we go.
Alcaraz is
We
coming
are
back.
at 30 all.
Wow, this might be going to a tiebreaker. This is really where you want to dig in and just go that extra gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what happened yesterday in the hockey? The Panthers 3-0.
Yeah, Edmonton Oilers yesterday, they lost game 1. It was in Florida, and so that's okay. Florida Panthers just kind of held home ice, which was their job to do. But, I'm rooting for the Oilers here just because I'd like to see a Canadian team win it. Canadian team.
Canada.
Yeah, they haven't won the NHL Stanley Cup since the Canadiens or the Habs won it in 92, 93. For Canada, that's their number one sport.
Ace. Oh, excuse me.
Zverev, yeah.
Oh.
That's like their NFL up there, and so the fans
Absolutely.
are so rabid. I'd love to see
And I
it
love
for,
Canada.
for the fans of Edmonton.
We love everybody,
Yeah.
but Canada, great people out there. Shout out.
Nice
Shout
heroes.
out. Shout out to Kirkland Water.
There you go. Zverev is up here 6-5 and 40-30 in this one, but let's take a look and see who's going to end up coming up on top of this rubber match here. This rubber set number 3.
I can feel the
I
tension.
love how quiet it gets. in
I can
tennis.
feel the
It's right.
tension.
It's
just-
incredible. Only golf do the fans go from a fervor to a quiet pitch.
It's just this is it. This is it. You can feel it. You can cut that tension with a knife.
Yeah. Meantime, over there in Nassau, they're trying to see if they can get this wicket ready for these guys to get back out there. This is too big of a match with too much hype, this India-Pakistan match, for them to have a rain delay.
Mother
for
Nature,
this.
come on.
Yeah,
Help
there's
us out,
too
Mother
much of that in
Nature.
cricket in general, by the way.
It
There is
really affects. Well,
yeah, it does.
You know,
But the fans are still, looks like they're having a
They're-
blast
they're
out
excited.
there. Yeah,
They're
restart.
excited.
Yeah, no
Maybe-
overs lost.
maybe it's time for chai time.
It looks like they're going to
Maybe
be
it's time for cha.
Yeah, already innings
Yeah.
break, right? Yeah. No other sport do they have lunch and tea break and tea time. Covers are coming off. Pakistan players are getting warmed up. Rain, rain, go away. India Pakistan
Rain,
want to
rain.
play. We got little poems going online here. The stadium DJ is churning out one of the greatest bits of verses
Whoa.
ever written. So they got they're having a party out there. It sounds like a desi party going on right now.
This is a big one. This is a big one.
Between Zverev and Alcaraz, we're talking about.
Yes, sir. Wow, we're at about a 15.
Oh,
Whoa!
and Zverev
This is
able
going
take
to
that
a
one
deuce.
here. Yeah, it is.
You know that they really want this one. This is it. This is second set. Whoever wins this game usually will win the set.
Here we go. We can actually Set 3, game 12.
The excitement in the stands is unparalleled in the cricket. Wow. I don't know
Yeah,
how-
they showed, it's been all over the internet all week. They said New York City has been blue and green. The
Wow.
Pakistani fans, the Indian fans,
That's
they have been
amazing.
showing out.
We really need this.
Yeah,
we really need
absolutely.
this sport to be a global event.
Absolutely.
Great serve,
Yep, they're
great
coming
serve.
back out. Looks like they're going to be starting back up here.
Drop shot.
Get ready.
Alcaraz, Alcaraz.
Oh.
Alcaraz, advantage Alcaraz. You can see that this is a huge game. And it seems like Alcaraz is really turning up the screws. 10 minutes in the cricket game.
10 minutes
Match
before we're back.
restarts.
We're back live. Thank you for joining us, whoever's watching us today here on Chai Time Sports. We're trying to just do some live commentary and talk about this cricket match between India and Pakistan. And also there's some French Open going on as we speak as well.
Put some questions, please. We want to get your feedback.
Exactly. Anybody out there watching, feel free to reach out to us in the chat box.
Let's see the serve. Alcaraz is trying to get this game, to get this
Advantage
into a
Alcaraz.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, Zverev serving here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
Deuce.
just couldn't return that serve.
Wow.
Just couldn't successfully return Zverev's serve. And so here we are. 6-5 Zverev in this third set. 40-40. Going after this game. Trying to get to set point in this third set is Zverev.
We've got one set apiece, 6-5, deuce.
Zverev and Alcaraz going at it here in France.
Lob.
Oh, Zverev there.
Wow, this is a nail biter.
It is. Advantage Zverev. We're about 9 minutes away from them restarting the match there, it looks like, in Nassau. We can recap some scores on the T20 World Cup in the meantime.
Is there another game going on today?
There will be some other games going on today.
Oman
Let's take
versus
a look.
Scotland?
Oman, Scotland's going to be
Is
going on
that
today.
a hot ticket? Is that a hot ticket?
I
Can
think
you
I
tell us
saw-
about the prices?
I think I saw a stat where it was a
Tell me.
$6 ticket for the Oman
Oh my
Scotland match.
goodness. It's either that or a burger.
And I think it was about $300 minimum to get in for
This game right here, the
for
India-Pakistan.
India-Pakistan,
Wow.
which is, well,
That's a huge discrepancy. Well, the big boys sell.
but I bet you Oman Scotland is end up going to be a better value buy because
They
you're probably
will.
not going to get a rain delay
Rain
on that
delay.
one there. Exactly. Now, and so there are some other matches going on today too. Let's take a look at the scores here. We can go back to live scores.
West Indies played yesterday.
They did Uganda, yeah, and
Uganda, that was,
they
that
won
was-
by 134 runs.
That was not good on the
Yeah,
Ugandans' part. You
they-
know, they really need
They
to.
put up 39 runs.
No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we got some live county cricket going on as we speak. See, Kent versus Middlesex. There's our
Kohli's average, versus
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan in T20 is is 308.
Yeah.
308.
yeah.
How- What?
No batter has more runs versus a team in T20s World Cups
308
than
versus
Kohli versus
Pakistan?
like total.
Total. Yeah, it's like
Total,
there's no way to
not
average that.
yeah,
I think that was a
total,
typo.
Total.
Yeah.
There
that-
we are. They're taking off the
2012, 78.
tarps. Tarps are coming.
78 in 61 balls. 2014, 36 not out at 32 balls. High strike rate. He really wants it. That was 2014. I mean, that's just impeccable. Impeccable shots that Kohli has played in this tournament.
They kept showing all the highlights of the last time
He put
Kohli played Pakistan.
2016, back to 2016 World Cup, 55 not out. Kohli's score in 37 balls, he has made 50. He made 55 runs, not out. I mean, the guy's just a machine.
Unbelievable.
2021,
The biggest players
57
play the biggest games on the biggest competition.
in 49 balls. So his strike rate is off the chain. Off the chain. Let's see what he can do this year. Let's see.
If they ever get to try to
Yeah.
get up the bat. Zverev won the third set, 7-5. So
Wow!
Alcaraz won set 1-6-3. Zverev 6-2 in the second
Wow,
set, and then
this
a
is
hotly contested third
hotly.
set. Zverev won at 7-5. So here we go.
this is it.
This one's
right?
gonna go 5 sets.
You
These
think?
tennis matches
Yeah,
always do.
yeah.
These tennis matches are just always so competitive.
I mean, can he make those adjustments?
You
Those
rarely see
adjustments?
these guys get to these levels of these competitions in tennis and just end up with like a sweep. But in basketball or baseball, you'll end up sometimes in the World Series and NBA Finals, and you think you should be getting the highest level of competition,
I'm speechless.
and you'll end up with a
I'm
sweep or a
speechless.
blowout. Like
I don't understand.
NBA Finals coming up again tonight. That first NBA Finals game that we had, Game 1, Celtics,
I don't
Mavericks.
understand.
You sit down, you're ready to watch it. It's the pinnacle of the season. You're thinking finally this is going to be the best match of the
competitive
year,
game,
and you watch it and it's a blowout.
No, and that really is. I really don't understand it. Is it just because the players aren't able to make
They don't want it.
adjustments,
Don't want it
and
more.
then they just wanna they
You
don't
gotta
want it,
want it
and
bad
then it's
enough.
better to bring the bench in and say,
I'm
hey,
not quite
let's
sure.
save your energy because the Nuggets game. Nuggets up against the T-Wolves. They were up 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to wrap the series. I mean, and it was a blowout. It was absolutely a blowout, and I don't understand,
Other
what
sports,
adjustments you're making.
You get to these levels, or lack thereof, you get to these levels and these it's just complete blowouts. But here in tennis, it's always competitive, right? You look at all these finals, in all these major tournaments, like all the Grand Slams, and
Amazing.
it's always competitive.
I mean,
it's always going 5 sets, I
It's
feel like.
Djokovic as he wants to be down, and I don't. It's an amazing.
It's always like you
psychology.
see that guy go down. It's like he's almost just watching and saying, hey, give me everything you got,
Yeah,
put all
let
your
me-
best stuff out there, let me absorb it all, analyze it all, make some adjustments. It's almost like he's watching
it's
film.
analogous to Muhammad Ali and George Frazier, the Thriller in Manila, when he came at him.
Good reference
He came
there.
at him,
Good reference. He said, let's just see what you got, I'll take it,
Yeah,
absorb
like
it.
he just took it and then he
Yeah.
just got tired.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't like to have that strategy against Mike Tyson though.
What about, who's he fighting? Jake Paul?
Jake
Sean
Paul,
Paul?
Sean Paul, Jake Paul,
Sean
Sean Paul, anybody,
Paulie
Paulie
from
from
Goodfellas?
So yeah, I think that fight, I'm not sure what to make of it. Huge boxing
Now
fan,
they pushed it back to like November or
It's
something
November,
like that, right?
they're around the Thanksgiving where all the turkeys get delivered,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
But the other fight, Tyson Fury fighting in December in Riyadh against Usyk, and Usyk is the undisputed champion now.
Yeah.
That is big. He's beaten. Usyk has beaten people like Joshua, Tyson Fury now, and he is shorter in stature than Tyson Fury, but he knows how to fight. There's no doubt about it. He is 23 and no losses. So excited for that one.
That's impressive.
Very impressive.
That'll be good. There's so many sports to talk about. There's so much going on every day this weekend. We got F1 coming up in a couple hours in Montreal. There's going to be some field hockey going on. Actually, I think it's on as we speak. I think there's some field hockey going on. The FIH Nations League going on between India and Great Britain. They got a match. Field
Rich
hockey's
tradition. The Indians have a rich
They
tradition.
do. Field hockey's making a comeback. They got this new league up now. They're playing. It's not clubs, but it's basically like a league of clubs where it's nations basically. And they're going to be playing in the Olympics coming up in Paris this
Yes,
summer.
sir.
So
Yes,
field hockey's
sir.
making a good comeback. In America, more people are familiar with field hockey probably as a women's sport or girls field hockey.
Right.
But internationally, it's significantly known as a men's dominated sport. And but now with the combination of women's sports being popular, it's really been able to get a stronghold. They've taken this league and they've really done some good marketing with it. It's on some TV channels, maybe not here in the U.S., but people like us that can get some foreign channels, it's available out there, and they're doing well. And I'm excited to see the sport of field hockey grow.
The Indian hockey team was the first non-European team to be a part of the International Hockey Federation, and it's got a tradition,
won a bunch of
history.
World Cups.
They won its
Olympics.
first Olympic gold medal in 1928.
Nice.
And from 1928 to 1956, they were the dominant team.
India.
New England Patriots style.
When is the last time India was dominant in any Olympic sport?
That's
some good riflemen.
No, we have a good archer.
Archer,
javelin.
yeah,
Javelin.
archer,
We do
javelin,
have. We
yeah.
did win the gold in javelin with
There you go.
with a Punjabi who has a very unorthodox style. So let's not give up the hope.
Okay, there you go.
We had one Olympic medal, one Olympic gold last year, and
Speaking of Indian sports, tennis is another one that we're not bad at.
Tennis,
maybe one day we'll get an Indian tennis player in the French Open finals.
But back to the tournament. Back to the tournament.
What's going on right now? We're on our
little bit
fourth
of
set.
the Alcaraz is trying to. He's got to hold his serve. This is it. And as the cricketers come back, let's see.
Oh, here we go. We're back out on the
back
wicket
on
now.
it.
That's good. Let's
Come
get
on,
back
Mother
to it.
Nature. Shout out to Mother Nature.
It looks sunny out there now all of a sudden. India. Now it looks sunny. We're getting back out on the pitch. It looks like a beautiful venue. That stadium looks great. It's a packed house. You got all the fans. It's pretty awesome for India. It's pretty awesome for cricket. Pretty awesome for Pakistan. This is just a it's a great day for international cricket. Such an old sport, been around forever. But
1800s.
USA and Canada, the oldest international competition. Canada won its first World Cup competition, won its first match in a World Cup.
They did.
They got a Taliban Punjabi guy playing for them too.
It's good for the format, the league. So
it's good to see these associate countries and these associate members of the ICC, International Cricket Council, start making some headway.
Absolutely.
And making some progress in
the minnows are not the minnows.
Yeah, it's good. T20 is a great equalizer like that, right?
It is.
If you tried to put these teams up in a test series,
match.
right? If you took these part-time Oracle IT guys from the USA and put them in a test match against Pakistan,
they're not going to fare very
well. It's not
well.
happening.
You know.
But you put them in a T20, it's anybody's game. I liken it to in the NBA. I liken it to these play-in games.
Let's get back to the bowling.
Where anybody can make, anybody can get hot.
And 4 runs.
There we
4
go.
runs.
We
Good
got a
start.
4
The rain
from
delay
Kohli.
didn't affect-
So
But as you can
Kohli's up
see,
to
the
bat.
the ball is slowing down in the outfield.
Yes,
So
the
that's
grass is wet.
Yes.
Yeah, the grass is wet.
But yeah, that's a good start coming back. Kohli's looking to be aggressive. Alcaraz.
First time up to bat, he
Alcaraz
gives you
on
4.
serve.
You'll take that. You'll take that.
All right, we got
4 runs right there. Bit of an outswing, but half volley, and the swing only gives Kohli width to free his arms, and he drove it all the way to the right.
So
right
between
cover
mid-off
there.
and cover, we got about 20 meters. So if you can get it in between the gap, that's really gonna make you're gonna look for boundary centrals.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. Mind the gap. So well played. So that's the challenge right there in T20. When to go for it, when not to go for it.
Okay.
Kohli just played defense.
Yeah, because if you're too aggressive, right, you're going to
Not
pop
good.
those things up, and that's how you're going to
That's
cut
it.
out, right?
And you're looking at a low score. So
Exactly.
that's where the mental challenge
There is
comes
just
on
some
when
strategy
should to
and
be.
gamemanship,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I mean, you can't just hit every single ball out because
No.
that's impossible.
Right.
But so, they're.
But you also don't got 5 days.
No, we ain't got 5 days.
Yeah, you don't got 5 days, yeah.
Nice lineup, nice run up. See, there you go. And he's out. That's a huge.
Wow, Naseem bowls out Kohli.
Wow.
Early
That
into the
is-
second
That's
over.
a game changer.
Second delivery, second over. Naseem
Just-
bowls out
just-
Kohli. What
wow.
happened there? Kohli out. Kohli just slapped that ball straight to the point.
Oh, come on.
Usman Khan right there with the catch.
That's what we were worrying about, the main man.
If you're watching this live on TV, Kohli,
Gave
was
it cheap.
he trying to play defense there?
I
Was
think
did he get caught in
he
between?
was caught in
I
between,
think he
trying to
just
get.
got caught.
But that's a huge wicket. I mean,
We just talked about how great Kohli had been. In fact, you just read off all these stats, the 308 runs he's put up, and all these averages.
just goes to show you.
It's like in the NBA when they always pull up the stat. He hasn't missed a free throw.
And they'll miss a
however-
free throw.
Yeah, so you just pulled
I
up.
jinxed him.
You jinxed him. There you go.
I won't jinx
the
him.
chai
I
time.
won't talk.
There.
Chai time.
Yeah, ding! If we had a bell for the first chai
Ding,
time.
ding.
Yeah, the
Parlay cookies.
The
back
first
in the
chai
day.
time sports jinx, and so that is a huge chain of events. So you get the rain delay. Sharma comes out, he puts up 8, it's looking great. We go back to the rain, we come back. You know what this reminds me of?
What
As
is
a
it
Niners,
remind you?
all right.
Tell me. I'm all
As a
ears.
Niners fan.
Uh-oh.
The Niners-
Are we doing this?
Yeah, the Niners playing the Super Bowl against the Ravens. It's going one way. There's there's all of a sudden a power outage. You come back and everything shifts. This is just the same thing. Sharma's up 8 runs right off the bat. There's a rain delay. Boom, wicket. All of a sudden
How
it
does
just
the power
changed.
go off?
It
Just
just
that
changed.
makes you think.
Well, I
and,
think
you know,
somebody might have pulled
somebody,
the
you
trigger
know,
a little bit. Hashtag.
yeah, hashtag.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
But
Hashtag
so
who's remembering?
that's a huge big deal now. So I mean, if you are Pakistan, as far as
You're
like
lim-
momentum,
you're happy.
Yes, because you're
Cloud
coming
nine.
off of this huge loss, right? You're coming off this. I mean, if you're Pakistan, think about the media coverage.
Whoa.
The
That was
media coverage
close.
of them coming off that
That
loss
was
against the USA, they were getting blasted. And then you come out and you put up a strong showing like this right off the bat. That's exactly what you want.
See, you can see that now their tails are up. They're have full confidence.
The crowd
and,
is back.
Naseem's
The Pakistan crowd
going
in
to
the-
punt right now, and it's swinging. The ball's swinging, and this is what you are not looking for as a Indian fan. Rohit Sharma looks a little uneasy, but Rishad Pant, he can light it up.
He can. I mean, that's why they put him up there at number 3 in the batting order. They got him up high, but Nassim is on it right now.
Good running in
Nassim
between
is
the
on it.
wickets.
Yeah.
Good running. You need to take advantage of every run. You know, you got to look at it not like an all or nothing. Even, you know, you got to take what the defense gives you. You know,
Yeah,
it's that old
absolutely.
saying.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So right now we got a great one going on in New York. Finally, the fans, I'm sure, are happy that the match is back on. Let's take a check-in real quick, live peeking again back at the French Open. Just to recap the scores there, Alcaraz took the first set 6-3, and Zverev took the second 6-2, and the third 7-5. So Alcaraz is fighting for his life right now.
They're having a little bit of a discussion on a call.
They get
Zverev
hot.
It's getting hot.
They get hot in tennis.
They
against
get
the refs,
hot, you know.
Yeah.
And
They'll get after it with these refs in more than any other sport.
Yeah, they'll call him out.
But the refs give give these superstars a lot of leeway more than any other sport
The
as well.
Michael
I
Jordan
would say,
rules is
right?
what you're saying?
Yeah,
The
I
Michael
think
Jordan
so.
rules?
Yeah, you don't see
You
that
know?
too much in other sports, but you do in tennis.
Rohit Sharma's up. Let's we gotta hold. We gotta keep the ship steady.
He's got 8 runs on 6 balls.
Nice on the leg side.
That is
You
nice.
cannot
And
give him
another
anything on the
4,
leg.
another boundary.
That
Another
shot
boundary.
was akin to Muhammad Azharuddin from back in the day. A strong leg on the leg. You gotta take them away on the leg side. You cannot let those balls go. And Rohit's really got to play that captain role. He's at 12 runs and 7 balls. So that's a high strike rate. Pakistan's bowlers, you know, they just got to stay with it. Just wanted to be a great contest. But you can't veer on the leg side. You cannot veer on the leg side. He'll punish you.
He will.
He'll
he
punish
will.
you.
We're happy the cricket's going back on now. We got live cricket coverage. Everybody like and subscribe to the channel, please, and share it with your friends. If anyone wants to sit here and talk some cricket with us while we watch the game. We also got some French Open going on right now, too. Alcaraz fighting for his life in this 4th set. Trying to defeat Zverev here. It's, I think, 4th versus 3rd nationally or world rankings.
I mean, this is break point. This is a huge one. If he can take advantage of this second serve, you got to be aggressive on this serve. You got to be aggressive, Alcaraz. You know, it's a second serve. It's all or nothing.
End of 2 overs there. We got 11 runs and 11 for 1. You know, Kohli comes up. Imagine if you're Kohli. The last few days, he's all around New York, paraded around. I'm sure he's going to dinners. Famous Indian people are taking him out in front of their house. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you get up there? What are you going to do to get up there? He gets up there. And it's a duck. Alcaraz.
Wow, huge.
Alcaraz.
Humping
with
his
a
fist in the air.
big
That's a big one.
point.
You
Yeah.
can. Wow.
And he takes it 2-0 lead in the 4th set
Wow.
here.
See, this
He's
is.
pumped.
He's pumped, all right.
He's pumped right now.
Yeah, back to the Kohli story. I mean, you're the LeBron James, aren't you?
2 hours and 53 minutes into that French Open
Wow.
right there. So
You're the LeBron James, essentially, of the.
if you're
of
Kohli,
the- yeah.
yeah, and you
Right.
get up there after all this hype, the Super Bowl and everything, and you don't even
You lay an egg.
Yeah, a duck.
You lay an egg?
A duck, as they call it in cricket sometimes.
Good.
So we got Afridi up to bowl now. Let's take a look. Afridi going up against Sharma here first to start this 3rd over.
Good pace, 136. You know, I mean, I've seen some of these Pakistan fast bowlers. Waqar Younis, Shoaib Akhtar has is the fastest bowler out there. He's clocked 100 miles per hour. So that they do have a pedigree of fast bowling. Nothing like a good wicket and some nice fast bowling.
That's it. In the tennis there, we got Alcaraz dominating right now in this 4th set at least, trying to stay alive in this 4th set.
Whoa, this ball. This is why they wanted to bowl first.
Afridi.
You know, India is a little bit unable to. The batsmen are unable to kind of figure out where this thing is swinging. They're going for big shots. And,
2 straight dots from Afridi there.
Wow, it's a good contest. You know,
So it sounds like Pakistan knew what they were doing when they chose to ball first,
Absolutely.
winning the toss.
overcast conditions, you always want to bowl first. You know, whenever it's sunny, gotta bat. You know, just because. Oh.
So the bowlers for Pakistan are really settling in here
They
after
are.
that first
I
over.
mean-
Sharma knocked him around a little bit with a nice 8-run.
And what happens is, you know, if you keep on having dot balls, the batsman after a while gets frustrated, you
Absolutely.
know, and you're gonna do something silly.
Yeah.
And that's where the mistakes creep in.
Absolutely. Alcaraz up 2-0 and 40 love in this game right here.
Five setter perhaps? Is this going 5
This
sets?
one's gonna go
This one's
5.
going
Yeah,
5?
absolutely. These tennis finals are great. They always end up going to full 5 sets.
Shout out to Costco.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
Another
He went for
boundary?
a big one.
Rohit.
They're choking.
Oh my goodness, Sharma.
This is what I was talking
Ow.
about. The
A
pressure.
Freedy.
Who called it? Who called it? The dot balls make you do something very, very uncharacteristic.
You get impatient. And there it is, Rohit Sharma.
You're not letting the offense come to
Rauf
you.
catches it. And so if you're India, you've already lost Sharma, you've already lost Kohli.
There's worried faces.
You are on to batters number 3 and 4, and you are not even 3 overs
the
deep.
criticism is going to continue.
Yeah, this is not great for India right here.
Continue.
If you are Pakistan, you are excited. Your bowlers are bowling out right now, and they have come to play. You know, like I said, they took a lot of heat and a lot of slack for losing to the USA. All over
they
the
looked
media.
very well prepped.
The Pakistan media, their own fan base, was not happy, and so they have come out
And they made the adjustments.
They have. They made adjustments. They watched film.
Wow, this
Sharma
is huge.
out, Kohli out. And
The big guns.
Yeah. Pakistan chose to field, and they made the right choice. So if you're India right now, it is not getting started. Let's check the Twitter and see what the commentary is out there. I'm sure people are having a field day with this one. Orange cap holder, 4 runs for franchise India. They called him Choki instead of Kohli. Shafridi strikes in his second over.
Who's got an LFC? Oh, let's go. Let's go, LFC.
Shout out. There we go.
Oh,
Rohit
big
gone
ups.
2 down. All
Big
right,
ups to
all
LFC.
right, yeah.
Oh, Danny
India
DeVito.
choking on bowling, pitching in a major ICC
I'll
tournament.
tell you, social media is brutal.
Social media is great. Rohit Sharma.
what is it? मेरे तरफ मत देखिए. मैं आपकी कोई सहायता नहीं कर सकता. Meaning he can't help you. Don't look at me. This is
Here we go. Virat Kohli, 4 for 3.
how quick they change.
Man.
How quick.
What a start for Pakistan. Yeah. We're back up now with Freedy back up.
Wow,
this
is an amazing wicket maiden.
So we
perhaps.
got Akshar Patel up. Akshar Patel up against Freedy now, and momentum, confidence, everything going Pakistan's way right now.
Mr. Mo, he's changing hands.
Everything going Pakistan's way right now.
Momentum is a funny thing, Bob.
Absolutely. And Alcaraz takes a 3-0 lead there in this 4th set. Let's check in with the tennis real quick. Yeah, Alcaraz leading 3-0 on this 4th set here against Zverev.
Wow. This is very, very good from Pakistan's bowlers. You know, 1 for 9, and other than a wide, there's been no runs off this over.
We're going to take a quick break here for just a second. All right, 3 gone, 20 for 2. We are here watching India-Pakistan live, Nassau International Cricket Stadium, Cricket World Cup, T20 World Cup going on. Giant Time Sports, we got a little break right now between the overs. In the French Open, we got Alcaraz holding on for this 4th set. He's up 3-0. We can see the score recap here on the screen. Alcaraz won the first set 6-3, lost the second 6-2, lost the third 7-5, and he's back up here 3-0 against Zverev. We had a rain delay in the cricket, but they're back, and India was starting off pretty good there, but Kohli got out 4 for 3, and then Sharma got out, got a little restless. I think the Indian batters, I think the rain delay and the hype and the everything behind over the last week, I think they ended up just, I think they got impatient, those dot balls. Like you said, I think those dot balls will get you, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one right now. 20 for 2. And with the ball doing what it's doing, you've got 2 new batsmen into the crease, both trying to get used to the condition and score runs. I mean, this is when, you know, as an Indian batsman, this is where you really, really need to look inside and just say, do I want it? Because if
I mean, what's your game plan now here? Do you just try to dink and dunk and say, okay, look, do we just try to dink and dunk, and because the ball's not going to roll fast out there on that wet field. No. Do you just try to take what you get?
You have to make sure that you're learning as you play, because you got to get used to where the. Whoa! Great shot!
We got
4
one
runs, but
punch
as you
of
can
that.
see, the ball's slowing down. You can slow it down.
Yeah,
That's
so
the thing.
They're
right?
catching it before it gets to the boundary.
Exactly,
They're
you
catching
know,
it
because
before it
it's
gets
been
to the
very
boundary.
damp.
Yeah.
And so you've got to learn as you're playing. You've got to put up a decent score. And what is a decent score on this wicket? You know,
It's a good question.
You don't know.
Could
Is
be-
110,
yeah.
95?
Might
you
be.
know, because if the weather stays like this, then you've got the same opportunity. You know, Bumrah's going to look to exploit the pitch the same way that Pakistan is.
Yeah.
So
Like we see here, the slowness of that outfield. So Shaheen was able to chase back that ball, pull it back from the boundary. So instead of 4, you get 3. And so there's 1 run, right? And so over the course of this game, 1 run here, 1 run there.
It's the little things.
It is, and then
It's like free throws.
If that, it is exactly.
Right.
It's like free throws, turnovers. If that leads to impatience amongst the batters, like we saw with Sharma, then
Yeah.
before you know it, another wicket, and
Ooh,
everything changes. And
they
Akshar
are-
Patel just seems.
they impatient. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. That's a lot of pressure.
Now this is the 3rd bowler, and it seems like all 3 bowlers have had the Indian batters confused.
confused. It's just the swing. The ball swing. They're lefties. Also a lefty.
A lot of lefties.
Lefty
It's
ballers.
kind of like baseball, how they like
Yeah,
lefties.
lefties.
Is it just
throw
hard for
everything
you as
off.
the batter to see
And
that ball coming off?
because you don't see many of them.
Okay.
And so it changes your dynamics, right?
You
know,
used to see
so-
that ball coming off that right
Absolutely, and sometimes it's where the seam is of the ball. So if you're always in practice in the nets and you're always having a right seat, there, it's just another dot ball. This is not good.
And you see Amir's numbers versus left-handed batters and right-handed batters. And is
Right.
it similar to baseball where lefty versus lefties really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it takes you a while to kind of figure out. Number one, you're figuring out the pitch,
Right.
the bounce.
Right.
Then you're figuring out the ball, the seam of the ball, in swing, out swing. You know, so it's this is where it becomes mental. You know, you really gotta like have a game plan. You gotta understand. You know, this is where you rely on your partner. You know, the other non-batsman on the other end, like saying, "Hey, dude, what's happening here? Where's it turning around?"
Right.
See, I mean, this is really great bowling. This is really phenomenal bowling. I mean, you gotta give them the credit where it's due.
Absolutely.
So, right now, India are up against it. They're up against it, and you know, these bowlers are taking advantage of every opportunity they are getting. And you know, back to the French Open, it seems like this might be a bagel. Alcaraz, you know, this is the part where Zverev might be thinking, why expend the energy?
And maybe he's just
And
gonna let
it
you
go
take.
in
Look,
the
I already
last
lost
set.
this, so let's go to set 5.
So
Yeah.
this is that mental part we talk about, right?
Tennis, unlike any other sport, is a sport where you'll do that, right?
Right.
You don't see people in
Why
other
run when
yeah.
you know that, you know, why pull something, why do the extra mile when you know that this is headed towards a 5-setter?
You know, they talk about that sometimes, like in an NBA or a baseball 7-game series. Sometimes they'll say, hey, if you have a few injuries or one of your
Right.
star players out, do you just maybe throw a game? But in American sports, people don't like to tend to.
We don't like to use that
No,
word.
they don't
throwing,
want to
correct?
ever give up. They don't want to ever throw. It's, you
I
know,
get it.
out there and bleed and whatever it is. But you'll see sometimes in these more international global sports a little more tactic or a little more gamesmanship, a little less of that ego and saying, look, if I'm going to lose this 4th set anyways, what's the difference if I lose it 6-7-5 or if I lose it 6-zip? I might as well just lose it and move on to the 5th.
Yeah, and that's the thing that becomes hard as a fan, right? Because you have that management point of view, and then
Right.
you have a fan. Because as a fan, we
Kawhi
never...
Leonard would be great at tennis. Load management, didn't? Yeah, he'd be
Does he
managing
still
every
play?
set and load.
Does he still play?
He's taking,
He
I think
likes
he's
to-
taking the summer off.
He likes to pace himself.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
we
load
go.
management.
So that's exactly what it is.
But
I
if
mean,
you're Zverev, yeah, why bring the
what's
energy
your,
now?
you know what? When I know
Let him take
I'm
it.
just not feeling it. Maybe right
You're not
now,
going to come back and win this
No.
1-6-4.
No, and I think that's a great point to talk about, because we as fans are like, don't give up, because that's what's installed in
Absolutely.
us. But you know, maybe take a point, a couple of points here and there. Back to cricket.
Afridi's back up here now,
Oh, trying to go for the drive, you know.
and we got another boundary.
We got a boundary,
Aksar
we'll take it,
Patel.
but that was not the shot he was trying to play. He was not trying to play that shot. Just goes to show you that this wicket is very, very unpredictable. Very unpredictable.
Great looking crowd out there today.
Amazing.
Looks fantastic. For those of you watching live on TV as well, thank you for joining us. Also, keep us in the background and listen to us for our live commentary while you're watching the background. Share us with your friends. Anyone who wants to talk about cricket, talk about it in English. We're here to talk about cricket, the French Open, sports, rugby, soccer. We're here to talk about everything. Just let us know, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'd love to hear your guys' comments as well. Feel free to chat into the chat group.
I think right now, at this point, we have got a big
Another
six.
six.
A big
What
six.
do we got?
We need this.
All right, Akshar Patel.
Akshar can go in there. He's a spinner as well. He's an all-rounder. They just gotta get these. Take advantage of the loose balls. That's what it is.
159 sixes in the tournament so far. I love how they love to pop that up because it's like that's how they want to sell everything for T20, right? Sixes.
It's like a home run.
People want to see home runs,
Home
Bobby.
runs.
That's it.
You know,
It's like the home run derby. That's
you
it,
know,
yeah.
as much as we respect,
I know.
we want the big ones.
That's
American
I don't see them
in
putting
this.
up the stat how many dot balls there have
No,
been, right?
no.
Or anything like that. Yeah, you don't put up
We want the big- we want the
160
extra
dot
credit.
balls
Come
this
on,
tournament.
come
Now, yeah, see. So we're getting quite a match going on now.
All
here.
right,
We
but
got,
now you can see the weather is changing. And
Yeah, the
weather's,
sun's coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
we
Absolutely.
got ourselves a match in Nassau. So thanks again
Wow.
for joining us, everybody. If you're watching Chai Time Sports, we're here to talk about some cricket. French Open, they're taking a little break right now. We got a great one going on. We're going to have a new winner for the first time in a long time. Let's see if Alcaraz, Zverev, who can take over maybe and move up a ranking spot even in the international world tennis rankings. Alcaraz has to be, if you're going to buy stock in a tennis
Alcaraz.
player today,
Alcaraz.
is there anybody
No
else?
doubt, no doubt. I mean, you just
He's
feel
young,
it.
he's sensible, he saves money,
And he
flies
flies
Southwest.
Southwest.
Yeah,
Shout out Southwest.
For those
We
of
love
you
you
joining
all.
us
You know,
late, our boy HD here was on the same Southwest flight once from Palm
And
Springs.
it was
to
delayed
Vegas
because
with
of
Alcaraz.
Carlos Alcaraz and Juan Ferreira, his coach. They came in, they made a meal, I think, playing a game against Nadal in Vegas for
Netflix exhibition
So
match.
you know what? Either he's good with his money or he just loves Southwest. C59.
They just couldn't find a place for his tennis
No,
racket.
that's what
They
delayed
said,
it.
Sorry, no
That's
space
why-
in the overhead bin. You're gonna have to check that at the gate,
But that
sir.
weekend was pretty awesome. We got
There
to
we
see
go.
the big German.
We did. We saw
You
Dirk
know?
Nowitzki that weekend as well. He was recently on a podcast with Shaq. With the Mavericks being in the NBA Finals. Speaking of that, that's coming up tonight. We can talk a little bit about that.
Shout out.
With the Mavericks being in the NBA
Shout out
Finals.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki, the big German. Everybody liked Dirk. You don't really have too many
No.
people didn't like him. He's been making a comeback media tour. I saw him on
He was labeled
TNT.
soft, and that's a label that
All the
these
Europeans.
the Europeans
Rudy
were labeled.
Gobert.
But now,
They've started to change that a little bit. No one ever talks about Luka as being soft.
No.
Maybe because he doesn't play as a big man. He's
What
a
about
scorer.
Djokovic?
He's a scorer.
I'm sorry, Jokic, the Joker.
The
He's
Joker.
not soft.
So, but he did have that label in the beginning.
He did.
When he first came in, he was a low draft pick. When they drafted him, there was a Taco Bell commercial going on. Is the
Yes.
famous story. He
Yes.
was a low draft pick. They didn't think
His
much
brothers
of him.
aren't soft.
His brothers are not soft.
No.
But they're not in the league either. But no one thinks he's soft anymore. You win a ring and everybody's quiet.
Everybody's
after
now
that,
they become
right?
hard.
Everybody's quiet. So. Speaking of, if you're the Celtics, is this your year to finally win it? I think they're 5 straight Eastern Conference Finals with the one NBA Finals. They lost
Jason
to
Tatum,
my
Jaylen
Warriors.
Brown, Porzingis.
Yeah.
That's a big three. That's
Yeah,
a real big
Porzingis
three.
also coming
He
over
came
from Europe. They said he was soft, unicorn. He was
I like
supposed to
his
be
game.
Wembanyama.
I
Before
like
he
his
got
game.
injured in New
He
York,
was the
he was on
Wembanyama.
track to be Wembanyama.
He
This
was-
is revenge game for him against Dallas, just like this is a revenge game for Kyrie against
What do you think
Boston.
about Wembanyama? Unbelievable
He's gonna be
talent.
fantastic.
He's going to be the GOAT.
Popovich will stick
Oh
around
my
until 90
goodness.
if he can to coach this guy. Wembanyama is
Isn't
the
that
real
amazing
deal.
that the
He's here to
Spurs
stay.
get blessed with these picks?
He's the real deal. The Spurs, yeah.
Is that amazing?
It is,
Dunk,
but
David Robinson.
That's a good
Wembanyama.
franchise. Of all the small market teams in all these major sports, if you're going to see one get that pick and be happy with them, we're
Spurs.
happy for the Spurs.
Solid.
St. Louis Cardinals for baseball, same thing. You're happy to
They
see
just
them do
run
well.
very well.
They do. What do we got? Did we get a run out?
No,
Oh,
made in
man,
time. Made in
almost.
time.
If you're watching live with the cricket, we're also checking in here with India versus Pakistan. USA Pakistan was a great one, by the way.
That was a wonderful
That
game.
was a heck of a match. Put the USA on the map. I mean, it got cricket news
Buzzing.
all over the place, which is
We're buzzing.
fantastic. We love it.
We're buzzing out here.
We love cricket buzz. We love the buzz about cricket, and so we want to be talking cricket as much as we can. So we're happy to see that. India Pakistan off to a good one here. We've had an exciting match. All these rain delays.
This partnership, got to build on it. This looks
with
like
Bunt and Patel.
Yeah, this looks like a 160 pitch and a best pitch of New York at this event. You gotta you gotta hold ground. Very, very important.
If you're Pakistan, you're coming off of that loss to the USA.
They
You've given
wanted
up
more.
17 runs in the Super Over. Just an embarrassing run. You're getting blasted by the media. You come out here, Rohit Sharma knocks you for 8 right away. You get a rain delay. You probably get a little break. You recompose yourself. You come out. You get Kohli out.
Sharma.
You get Sharma out. You're feeling great. Now, I think if you're Pakistan, you're feeling pretty good still so far. Let's take a look and see. Right now, we got the money line live up on bet365.com, the biggest global betting site for sports betting.
Go bets 365.
India's favored minus 225 on the money line. You can get some good bets here. You can
So
say
can
how
you
many.
explain that to us?
Yeah,
if you were to put.
if you're looking at our screen here live, what you can see is there's so much you can bet on cricket. Actually, it's pretty interesting. For runs off first delivery on the 6th over. So when we come back for the 6th over, you can bet. Do you think they're going to get over under a half a run or over under 3.5 runs?
I think over
off
3.5.
Off of the first delivery. Meaning, if
first
you think
delivery.
they're going to hit a 4 off that first delivery or a 6. Then you're going to bet the over 3.5. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
If you think they're going to get a dot ball, you're going to bet the under a half. Otherwise, anywhere in between, you're going to bet the over half, and so that's how you can kind of do an under here and
So
over
if
there.
I was to put $100 on them getting more than 4 runs on their first ball, where's my money at? What am I looking at?
So then you get plus 275, right? So if
There
you think
you
you're going to get a boundary on that first ball, you bet 100, you get 275 back. So that's how a little bit about cricket betting. Sports betting has taken over so much around the world once they've legalized it in the U.S. I'm not much of a gambler myself, so it's for entertainment purposes only for me. But however, we do like to talk about it. It brings people to the sport.
Absolutely.
So even if you don't like cricket or you don't understand cricket, coming to Bet365, coming to talk about it here at Chai Time Sports, at least gets you into the sport and it gives you something to watch for. Also,
Absolutely.
right? It keeps people hanging on the game.
I mean,
put down.
gambling's here to stay. It's like T20.
I got people who put $5 on a game or $1 on a game just because they'll say it gives me something to keep watching for. Speaking of watching for, you want to check in on the French Open there, HD?
Zverev is not giving up. He is, contrary to what we were thinking. Whoa,
Trying to make a comeback in the fourth set.
big,
Another
drop
boundary.
Drop chance. Wow, got lucky there.
Another
that was a drop catch.
Another 4.
We'll take
Is
it.
that
You
a
gotta
beer
take
to
it.
punt? Another 4
You
runs.
gotta take
Let's
it.
check in here.
And it was reported that Pant in the Nets practice session was just trying left-hand and right-handed batting. Just to kind of change things up, to do to be ambidextrous. So he is a very exciting player. He has a very free spirit. Just wants to go over things. The knock on him is he does not like to keep his wicket. He just wants to go for shots. Sometimes his aggression can be his worst enemy, but people like him.
Yeah, we can
Look again. Look.
And we got another boundary
Oh
here.
no, that's an out.
No, he dropped it
And
though.
back to what I was saying.
Bunt.
Back to what I was saying. He likes to go for it, and
Yeah.
he's going for it, which can be good and bad. You gotta read the room.
So for those of you who aren't able to watch the match live right now, Bunt went for it. He hit one up, and you would have thought that Pakistan had a wicket on their hands. However, hey, they don't wear gloves and mitts like baseball.
No,
you
they
give that
don't.
guy, he almost had a Willie Mays catch if he has a mitt
Exactly. This is just using your bare hands.
there. Running on wet grass out there, wasn't able to come down
True
with it.
athletes.
Yeah, true athletes out there in the cricket pitch. Half joking he is. So we can take a look at the spike graph here in the wagon zone for Pant and Patel. And they're going for it right now, and you can see, look at that. I mean, Patel's already got 14 runs over here, so he's doing well on 11 balls. This partnership, when you lose Sharma and Kohli right off the bat, if you're an India fan, you're a little bit worried, but your batters 3 and 4 are coming up and holding it down for you. It's like your bench, right? Like your bench coming off on an India game.
I mean, it's hard to tell about the win probability, but they are saying that India has, obviously, you got to take this with a grain of salt, but they're saying that if this partnership holds, India's total projected 178. But obviously, this is so early in the game. I take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we're into the 6th over right now. 45 for 2 for India as we speak, and those 2 are a big 2. They're probably the biggest 2. It's Sharma and Kohli who got out, obviously.
Huge.
The number 1 and 2 batters. We've had a few close calls, a few drop balls from Pakistan. So far, we have had a match that has lived up to the hype. Amir's coming up here with his run up, and we get another couple runs, at least another run from India. So Aksar, Patel, and Pant, they're holding it down for India right now.
Keep on moving the scoreboard. It's when you have those dot balls, that's when things just start to get, mentally you're getting pressure.
Which is where Sharma was at when he ended up getting that out.
Exactly. But as the captain, he's got to know better.
Yeah.
He's the captain. There's a reason why you're a captain, right? I mean,
he took a lot of heat in that World
then
Cup.
he's going to take more
about.
heat the way he's playing because you got to hold your composure.
Yep. And the Test World Cup is what we're talking about. That happened in India recently. Australia won that on India's soil. We got another boundary from Pant there.
This will give India a great psychological advantage if it stays like this. That the bowlers will know that they can exploit the same conditions. That they will be able to swing because the ball's swinging and obviously these boundaries of late have been very, very fortuitous.
Yeah, 50 for 2 with another delivery left to go, and this.
But look at this ball. Look at that. That's all. These are edges.
Yeah,
you know. So I wouldn't be too happy. You know, I'm happy with the balls, but I'm not happy with because the ball is not. They're not. It's like
they're not on it.
They're not on it. They're getting lucky.
They're getting lucky.
So
you
know,
if you're Pakistan's bowlers right now, you're still happy. You're still getting the spin on the ball and the movement on the ball that you want.
But you know what they say about luck? It favors the brave.
Yeah, it does. At the end of the day, whoever scores more runs is going to win here today.
Whoop, whoop.
You know, there's just a little inside joke, fellas. Yeah.
That's a Madden for y'all. That's a Madden. John Madden, the king. Rest in peace, John Madden.
And we're in our 5th set here.
We are, I think.
Yeah, we're still now 5-1. 4th set, Alcaraz is up 5-1 here.
I think Zverev went back to his little, you know, thinking I'm gonna make a fight of it, and then he said, "Nah."
Yeah, look, I mean, if you're Zverev, you're 3.5 hours, almost 3 hours and 15 minutes into this. You're not coming back in this 4th set. If I'm him, I'm just giving this one back to Alcaraz and saying,
"That's what I would do."
Get a Gatorade break and let's get in there for this 5th one, right? But this will be a highly contested 5th set. Yeah, Alcaraz is serving for the set here live in Roland Garros. If he takes this one, then we'll be even 2-2, and we'll work our way to the 5th set. And Zverev, so yeah, we got to fall through the 1st set.
Just to go over India's batting lineup, or just their lineup. I mean, after these two guys, we do have Yadav who comes in. Then we have Shivam Dube. That's an all-rounder. Then we've got another all-rounder, Padia. And Jadeja. Jadeja can swing him. I love what he does, his celebratory celebration when he scores, you know, or when he gets to his 50, he uses his bat like a sword.
Right.
I love that. And then we get a little bit thin. Bumrah can hit it. Mohammad Siraj and Arshdeep Singh, those are the tail enders. So we do have a strong lineup. It's a good mix. It's just that you gotta be smart, take advantage of these situations. Right now we've got a good partnership, and you know, it's communication, but I'd be very weary about these boundaries because they're not coming clean.
Absolutely. We had a big rain delay, couple rain delays. We got a wet field out there. We had some balls rolling slowly in the outfield. Some got caught before they got to the boundaries. Some still made it. We're into our 7th over here, 50 for 2. India up on Pakistan right now. Pakistan chose to field, and it seems like that was the wise choice. As you said, at an overcast, rainy pitch, you like to kind of bowl first if you can, or field first. Beautiful sold-out crowd there at Nassau International Cricket Stadium.
This is going to do great for the sport.
India's at a 8.33 run rate right now. That seems to be about...
It's not bad.
Yeah, for this Cricket World Cup so far, for the way the wickets have been, that's solid. That's solid. That's enough to win.
It is a good run rate compared to, I mean, relative to what
all
we're
England
seeing.
needed yesterday was to keep 8 or 9 run rate, and they were going to beat Australia, and then somewhere between the overs of like 7 to 14, their run rate plummeted.
Maybe they thought of lunch. Premature lunch, you know.
You know, the hopefully their soccer mates can fare better in the upcoming Euro tournament than the national English cricket team has. Yeah.
Go 3 Lions.
It doesn't seem like England's going to even make it out of the group stages here at the Cricket World Cup. I doubt they make it.
They're 0 for 2, and when you've lost 2 of your games, it's very hard to go to the next round.
Yeah, so. Top 2 teams advance to the Super 8 out of the group stages here at the Cricket World Cup. Cricket World Cup being hosted by the USA and the West Indies. The West Indies cricket team, or cricket nation, is actually made up by 11 kind of small island nations out there in the West Caribbean. So yeah, the West Indies and the USA hosting this Cricket World Cup. Great for the sport, hosting matches in Grand Prairie, which is right outside of Dallas, Texas. That was the home for the infamous USA-Pakistan upset for the ages. That's kind of like the "Do you believe in miracles?"
Do you?
We needed Al Michaels on that call. I don't know if Willow TV can.
I don't think it's in the budget. Not at this point.
No, maybe he does some nonprofit work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it reminded me of, right? It was like when the USA beat Russia in hockey with a bunch of amateurs back, in 1980 in those Olympics. That's what this was. This was amateurs. This is part-time IT guys, right? Versus full-time millionaire multiple league players on the Pakistan national side. So
Rishabh Pant, sorry, he's trying to go for it, and he's not looking at where he's
hitting him off that leg side there.
And so pressure. This is the thing. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. You just got to keep on rotating the strike. I mean, that's it. You can't look at it as an all for nothing situation.
Move that scoreboard. Yeah.
I mean, take what something gives you. It's when they go for 4, 6, or nothing.
That's where we saw Sharma get out. That's where we saw a near miss or a near wicket, drop ball by Pakistan earlier here, and
right there,
Aksar again.
Great shot.
Another boundary.
Now we're starting to click.
This partnership.
This is a good, solid partnership. They are now starting to get the momentum in their favor. Need really to establish a nice run rate now. In tennis, Alcaraz is serving to see if he can hold serve. This is going to go to a 5-setter, which I think it will.
Yeah, this will go to the 5th set here. 40-40 in this game right now, as we can see on the score here. Alcaraz is serving. He wins this one, and we're back to a tie, 2 sets apiece, and we'll go into the 5th set. You know, nothing like these tennis majors, these finals and these tennis majors. Oh, Zverev is making him work for it. You know, if you're Zverev, you're thinking, you know what, maybe I'm not wasting a bunch of energy, but maybe I just make him waste a little more energy. Right? The pressure is on Alcaraz right here as far as to finish this off now.
Absolutely.
So maybe for Zverev, you're like, hey, I'm not going to waste much energy, but I'm going to make you.
Why not?
I'm going to make you waste yours a little bit.
That's why sports is so intriguing. Tennis is so intriguing.
Tennis is just very unique, right? The one-on-one nature of it. There's nothing else like it.
You know what's amazing about tennis? You can have all the talent in the mind in the world, but if you're not mentally strong, it's not gonna win you a lot of tournaments. I mean, person who comes to
golf
mind,
and tennis, right? Probably the most mental games.
Person who comes to mind,
right?
Nick Kyrgios, amazing talent, one of my favorite tennis players of all time, has all the talent in the world, but he's openly said, I don't like it.
Right.
He said it on Netflix.
Yeah,
he's like, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But he can, I mean, he's a sensation. When you see him play, I mean, oh my goodness, polarizing figure. You know, it's either you love him or you hate him.
Right.
But he's taking the whole year off. He's undecided if he wants to do it.
Him and Jurgen Klopp are going to go rediscover themselves. Jurgen Klopp, also a little bit of burnout.
Shout out to Jurgen Klopp.
Shout out to all the LFC fans out there.
Shout out, go LFC. You know, Jurgen, go Arnie Slot. You know, come on. Bring that. Don't be another Eric Ten Hag. You know, we need you to. You know, I don't know what it is about these the coaches, managers from the Netherlands. You know, I mean, I don't know what happens, but Ten Hag,
they're used to quality of life.
That's what it is. They love it out there.
They're used to quality of life out there. And they pay 75% tax, but they're used to a low stress life.
EPO is not the place to be if you don't want to have an ulcer. You know, so I get it.
I got a good dot ball from Nassim. Nassim up to bowl now, and so
he's got some good figures.
A couple dot balls. He's trying to calm it down because Oxford and Punt have been on a hot little run there, and so Nassim comes in, calms things down, gives up a run, and then 2 dots. And
it's right now. We've got some great games. Hey, by the way, to all our followers, put in some comments, questions, things we should do better. We're here for you guys. We just want to make this very chill and
let's pull up some prop bets here and take a look at what's going on to win the NBA championship. Did we get another wicket? We did.
Boy.
Pakistan gets their 3rd wicket.
Just what I was saying.
Bowled them out.
We're still in the 7th over.
58-3. 58 for 3.
You know.
Still with 2 deliveries left in this.
Nassim
here we go.
Like
Nassim shot. Akshar Patel out. Cleaned him up. Akshar danced down the wicket. Missed a straight one. Crashed right into the stumps.
He seems like a guy who has got his line and length on point. Nassim seems like the guy who seems like he can do major damage here.
As soon as he came into this over, we said it. We said, hey, he's calming things down. And boom, he was on it. Patel's out. Patel was on a roll there. He was 20 runs or 18 balls, exactly what you said. Move the strike, keep the ski board running.
These boundaries, I wasn't very confident on him because they were just nicks.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of time. They were not confident, strong ball hitting the bat where it needs to be.
Alcaraz won that set. Alcaraz wins 4th set. So here we go. We're going to go to 5th set. So we got 2 great matches going on, everybody, right now. We got a great match going on in Nassau, India, Pakistan, the Super Bowl of cricket. A lot of hype around this one. We had a couple of rain delays, but luckily we're back. 58 for 3 right now, which is pretty. We're at an intense play, 7.5 over. It's been an intense match so far. The wet pitch has definitely changed things there.
It's really hard to predict the way the game is going. It's really like who's.
Take a look at this graph. Take a look at this worm right here, and you can kind of see where
it's just up and down,
really
right?
Is.
I'm looking at the win probability. Now it's come down. I mean, it was at 61 for India. It's just up and down.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. So let's take a look around the sports world here. Like we talked about earlier, for those of us joining us, I want to talk about some sports that aren't usually on the docket. Field hockey, we got India and Great Britain in the field hockey matches going on today. NBA Finals is going on tonight, of course. We do have the championship in golf as well going on, PGA Tour.
4 runs.
Scotty Scheffler favored in that.
4 runs.
Another boundary. Now we got Surya Kumar. Surya Kumar.
Don't do anything foolish. Don't give up your wicket. Just go for the balls that you feel are gonna be your bread and butter. You know?
Yeah.
Gotta do that.
Yeah. Surya Kumar comes in, and right off the bat, second delivery to him, and he goes ahead and gets 4. So 62 for 3, end of 8 overs. They got 5 runs and 1 wicket in that last over for
Good
India
over for
there.
Pakistan.
Yeah, so Surya Kumar splits mid-off and mid-on with a cracker and got it, drove it straight
This
to boundary.
would be the equivalent. India versus Pakistan at this stage would be the equivalent of, what do you say, Boston versus the Lakers? In the
Yeah.
right?
This is Lakers Celtics. This is
Right?
This is Yankees Red Sox.
This is Cowboys Eagles.
This is any of those.
49ers.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is Niners Cowboys.
Yeah, back in the
this
90s.
is
Now it's all
of
love.
those.
Now it's
this
all love.
is any of those.
This is the big one, the big kahuna.
Exactly right. So, going to take a quick break for a second here while we're about to start the 5th set there, and about to go into our 9th over here on the wicket there. I'm going to take a quick break.
Alrighty, we'll be back.